class and the things that we've been learning, how is it different from other English classes? What are we focusing on here?
Maybe we're looking for how it could be better to live. I don't know how to say it.
Yeah, interact.
Environmental.
Right, in a work environment, in a professional environment. All right, I'm going to write a short list here on the board. I'm going to write some things down, and again, we're going to go over formality, okay? So this is going to be the informal side, and this will be the formal side. What I would like you to do is come up here and write some alternatives, okay? So I will write some phrases. So these are kind of more informal and friendly type of phrases that we use. Now, again, I want to reiterate that these informal phrases, they're not wrong. They don't sound bad, but we have to be able to identify what's informal and what's a little bit more formal, okay? Now, when is it okay to be more informal? When is it acceptable? Can you give me an example?
With your friends?
Okay, exactly. With our friends, yes?
Maybe even in work, but your colleagues, like just...
Right. Maybe somebody who works in the same team with you, your colleagues that you see very often, and you guys communicate often. So we have that familiarity at this point, so it's okay. When is a good time to be a little bit more formal?
When you're emailing your boss?
When you're emailing your boss? Yes.
When you are the boss?
When you're the boss and you have to set the example, yeah? I love jeans and I love wearing a sweatshirt, okay? And sneakers or even a hoodie, but I only dress like that when I'm the student and I'm going to class. When I'm gonna stand in front of all my students, we try to set a little bit of an example. I try to look like I took a shower and I brushed my teeth and got dressed, you know? So that's one of the differences when you're the professional, you have to set the example. Good. What's another situation when we want to be a little bit extra formal?
Maybe if you're meeting someone new.
If this is your first correspondent, or you've never talked to this person or corresponded with this person, like written in an email, you don't really know them, and this is the first time, just for good measure, yeah? To be a little bit more formal. And then, depending on how they respond, then after that, after the communication continues, maybe you can switch over to this, okay? Now, can I have some volunteers? Who can come and write an alternative? Very good. Could you instead of can you? Thank you. Why don't you pick someone else to go? Oh, you volunteers. Perfect. So could you please, and then whatever it is you're asking them to do, okay? This is called a modal verb, and this one is the most polite in comparison to can you. Okay? Okay, very good. So what did you do here? Tell me what changes that you made. What changes did you make here? You put hello. And what did you do here for this introduction or this opening? It's okay. No, don't worry. All right, so we have hello. Can anyone tell me another alternative besides hello? Good morning. Good afternoon. Whatever time of day it might be. Good. It's just a little bit more formal. Okay. And what about here? What did we do here?
The miss.
Yeah, we added the title here. Okay. Now, also, what we could do here is instead of putting the first name, we could put the last name. And again, this is very formal. Maybe for the first time you're writing to this person, okay? Who's next? How about the gentleman in the back? Okay. Thank you. Yeah, because you're offering help. That's one option. Again, so language is not really like a science. So it's not so much like translation or interpretation. There's more than one option, okay? And it's not in black and white. Very good. Anyone else? So here it says, if you have any questions, please contact me. Thank you. I appreciate your time. Or you could say thank you for your time, okay? And these all sound really nice. Yes. Good. Let this go. Mhm. Very good. Thank you. All right, so when we're saying thank you for your help, appreciate your cooperation. Yeah, I appreciate your cooperation, or thank you for your cooperation in this matter, en este asunto. Okay, so, perdón por molestar. That's kind of like, that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that sentence. Just a little bit more friendly. So, I apologize. I apologize for the inconvenience. And usually there's something else here. So instead of just saying sorry, okay, if it's a little bit more formal, we would put I apologize, I appreciate, or I appreciate, I apologize, I thank you. It sounds a little bit more polite and a little bit more formal. So if there's any new, again, have you ever been on a phone call where you're calling customer service? Has anybody ever had a customer service type of job where you're answering phone calls from clients or customers?
In English or in Spanish?
Sorry?
In English or in Spanish?
In English or Spanish? But again, so customer service, what's the number one rule?
Be polite.
Be polite. It's definitely important, but I remember when I was learning customer service in the workforce, the number one golden rule about working with clients or customers is the customer is always right. Okay? Now, it's funny and it's ironic because the customer is not always right, right? But what they teach us that rule because they want to ingrain in our minds that we're not going to start arguing with the customer and we're not going to tell them that they're wrong, even if they are, okay? What we're here to do as the customer service agent is to make the customer happy. So whatever their issue is, we have to get them in a better mood, acknowledge them, let them know we're listening and paying attention, and that we're eager and ready to help and fix their problem, okay? Let me see.
And what if the customer,
Mm-hmm.
the people that is attending you, it's unpolite?
It happens, and it happens a lot, okay? More than you think. Well, you kind of just have to try to find a way to, I would say, with your tone of voice, sound like you're happy and sound like you're in a good mood. Whatever it is that they're saying, acknowledge that, okay? You can repeat kind of what they're saying, what they just said, so that they know that you're listening.
Okay.
And then ask questions. Ask questions. How can we fix this? Or what would you like? What would you like me to do? Maybe they're complaining because they're expecting a package and the package hasn't arrived when it said in the email that it was. And what we do as customer service attending the customer, we'll say, oh, I'm so sorry that your package hasn't arrived. Let me check. Can I have your information? We're going to listen to a recording here in a moment. But typically in English, when we are calling anybody, any company, this is their first, así es como contestan el teléfono. Así es. It will say, hello, or good morning, or good afternoon. This is Amanda. And they say, thank you for calling. We'll put awful. Thank you for calling. How email you today. Okay. So a very quick introduction, a very formal introduction, okay? And then thank you for calling the company. Okay, good. So if any of these are new, maybe take a screenshot for your notes or write them down. But good. I'm glad that you're able to make the distinction, okay? Make the distinction between informal and formal. Because really, it's these specific, especially these modal verbs, yeah? Like may. ¿Recuerdan de los verbos modales from our other English classes? Bless you. Could, should, would, may, can, must. Very good. So you see that they're scattered here everywhere. So when we're talking with customers, and you see we have a lot more variety of modal verbs in the formal language than we do in informal language. Yeah? We have can here, and can up here. And don't forget, okay, como hispanohablantes nativos, tenemos que siempre recordar a incluir el sujeto en la frase, porque cuando en español está como implícito con el palabra que sigue, right? I appreciate, or the verb, con el verbo. Aprecie su tiempo. Ya sabemos that I'm talking about me, que yo aprecio su tiempo. But in English, it's not the case. So if we just put appreciate or apologize, well, who is apologizing, okay? So it's very important that you include the subject here in the beginning, okay?
Mm-hmm.
All right, well, why don't we move forward? Let's see what we're gonna do. Are there any questions about these phrases or any of these statements? Any doubts at all? No? Okay. So let me see. We're gonna do a listening activity, and we're gonna hear some real life conversations. Okay. So I'm going to erase this. Try to pay close attention, okay? Try to pay close attention, especially. So the first one we're going to do, we're listening to someone receiving a customer who has a complaint, okay? So listen to what the complaint is, and then listen to how the person from the company who's working in customer service, how they handle it. And what do they do, and what do they say, how do they say it to calm the customer down, okay? Because that's ultimately what we want to do. Also, take into account, there's many of you who might end up in the United States or in another English-speaking country where you have to schedule an appointment, or you're the one who's waiting for the cable company to come or the electrician to come and turn on your electricity in your new apartment, and they haven't arrived, and you're calling the electric company like, what's going on? So just keep in mind that you guys can be either on the receiving end or you could be on the giving end of any of these situations. okay? Sometimes it can be stressful. I think I told you guys last week, it was difficult for me when I moved to Mexico to talk over the phone with people because they just talk so fast, especially like La Línea Dorada, the taxi people. Oh my God. Yeah. Okay. Okay, so this is role play number 1. I think we're going to listen to 3 altogether, okay?
Someone about my refrigerator repair.
Okay.
Number 1, call center agent and customer.
Thank you for calling the Aloha Appliance Center.
Hello, I need to talk to someone about my refrigerator repair. It's been a week and it's still not fixed.
I'm truly sorry to hear about the delay in your refrigerator repair, ma'am. I understand how inconvenient that can be. Could you please provide me with your service request number?
Yeah, hold on. Let me check the piece of paper. Here it is. The number is SR-3792.
Thank you for that information. May I have your first and last name, please?
My name is Stephanie Jackson.
Thank you, Ms. Jackson. I'm going to check the status of your repair request right away. Could you please hold for a moment?
Could you please hold for a moment has the same meaning as, may I put you on hold for a moment.
All right, but this is getting ridiculous. You keep telling me tomorrow, tomorrow, tomorrow.
Let's see if we can solve this problem right now, Ms. Jackson. Please hold for a moment. It seems there was a delay due to a parts shortage, and I sincerely apologize for the inconvenience.
I sincerely apologize is a very polite way of saying I am terribly sorry.
We've expedited the delivery, and a technician will be at your home tomorrow to complete the repair.
The word expedited means sped up, to make something faster.
Tomorrow? Huh, I've heard that one before.
The expression I've heard that one before has the same meaning as, I don't really believe you.
I completely understand your frustration. We'll do everything we can to ensure your refrigerator is working properly tomorrow.
Well, I just hope the technician actually shows up tomorrow.
We'll make sure it's taken care of, Ms. Jackson.
Do you have any idea what time the technician will be here tomorrow?
I can ask the technician to text you that information. Will that work for you?
Will that work for you means, will that be okay?
This is so frustrating. So you don't know what time the technician will get here?
The technician will be coming from another job, so I cannot pinpoint the time.
I cannot pinpoint the time means I cannot give you the exact time.
However, I do show the current time frame from 2 to 4 p.m.
Well, I sure hope so because I need to head out at 5 tomorrow.
The expression head out means to leave or to depart my home.
Will there be anyone else at home that might be able to wait for the technician to finish?
I'm afraid not. Like I said, I've waited over a week for you people to show up.
I'm afraid not means I regret to say.
We are extremely sorry for the delay. I will make a note of that on your ticket.
You can say, we are extremely sorry for the delay, or we are very sorry for the delay.
That way the technician will see your schedule.
Just show up tomorrow and fix my fridge.
The technician has the necessary part and will be there tomorrow afternoon. Ma'am, just to confirm, your telephone number is 415-207-8800.
Yes, that's the number. I'll be waiting for the text.
Thank you again for your patience on this. Have a nice day, Ms. Jackson.
Yeah, it'll be a great day when I have a working refrigerator.
I understand. Is there anything else I can help you with?
No, but wouldn't you feel upset if you were me?
I can certainly understand how you feel.
Thank you. Well, I'll be waiting for the tech tomorrow afternoon.
Thank you again for calling Aloha Appliance Center. Have a nice day.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
How to handle,
Okay, so what were some of the things that we noticed about the customer or about the customer service guy? Hmm? What are some things that we noticed about the language or about their interaction?
Que tienes que estarlo tramando, hacerle entender que estás entendiendo.
Right. So yeah, exactly. So how many times did he demonstrate empathy? Yeah, like how many times is it, oh, I'm so sorry, or I apologize, I understand how you feel, or I understand that you're upset, or I understand your frustration. He's like, like, I'm there with you, like I feel, because we're human beings and we are driven very much by our emotions in life, Our emotions have a heavy influence with how we act or the decisions that we make in life. So she was upset and frustrated and, taking all of that, the emotion out on him, okay? I don't know if you ever heard this or if you have felt this, that a lot of times we have like an energy, and sometimes that energy can be transferred from one human being to another person, just from an interaction on the phone or being in a close proximity of somebody else. You can kind of like feel their vibe and feel how they're feeling. That's something that we as human beings, we have this ability, like we have this perception. But I'm sure that he could feel her frustration, but despite that, he didn't allow it to affect the way he spoke in a negative way, right? He was being sympathetic. I understand how you feel. I'm so sorry. I mean, he probably said it, like 4 times, 3 or 4 times, maybe more. And he was reassuring her, like asegurándola que iban a resolver, right? The situation. What else? Did you notice anything else?
Even when he didn't know about the time of the technical would be there, he say maybe this time. O sea, no se quedó como sin una respuesta.
Right.
A pesar de que no sabía, le dio una respuesta más o menos.
Right. He didn't just. Yeah, he was resolving problems, resolving questions, and resolving doubts. Like he was assuring her, yes, they're gonna be there tomorrow at your house. They're gonna fix your fridge. Like everything's gonna be okay. Don't worry. What time? I'm not sure, but maybe they'll get there at this time. Like he doesn't know for sure. And really, this agent, he can't control the time that the technician arrives at the house. But he gave her enough of a positive answer to leave her like, okay. And even after
handle customer.
even after they resolved that, she kept going like, ¿Cómo te sentirías tú? En mi situación. Like, even after that, ya como empezó como un poco de, I would call it like terapia, She was like, se estaba desahogando con él, and he's like, no, yeah, I understand that you're frustrated. I would be too, or something like that, like where we feel like, como solidarios. If you show a little bit of solidarity, that will calm the other person down, okay? So, call center agents, they have to deal with a lot. These people are very talented at handling emotions, being under control, and I don't like to want to say like como están manipulando al cliente, but really they kind of tienen ese conocimiento de cómo son las personas y cómo son sus emociones y cómo manejarlo para mejor manejar la situación. Son los encargados de la situación, and they have to make sure that the customer is happy. If not, they leave a bad evaluation on Google, and then that's bad. That's bad for business, right? So we have to avoid that. All right. Now this second one, I'm not sure. This is another complaint. I would say another tip or another suggestion he said, "Oh, ma'am, can I have your name?" And she's like, "Oh, yeah, my name is Sarah, blah, blah, blah," right? And you notice he kept it very, very formal. Maybe if the customer or the person that you're talking to is very serious, or even if you perceive that they're upset about something, maybe keep it a little bit extra formal and extra respectful, okay? Just because they're not in a good mood or in a friendly mood, yeah? All right, let's listen to the second one.
Complaints. Role play number 2. Call center agent and customer.
Thank you for calling Gold Coast Electric Company. My name is Adriana. How may I help you today?
Yeah, I received my utility bill, and it's way higher than usual. This is outrageous.
Oh, I'm very sorry to hear about that, sir. I understand your frustration. To assist you, may I have your account number, please?
Let me just find it. Here it is. The number is 978-436-2401.
Thank you for that information. For verification purposes, may I have your full name, please?
Sure, it's Harold B. Roberts.
Thank you, Mr. Roberts. I'm going to review your billing statement right away. Please hold for a moment while I access your account information.
Fine, but there's no way I'm paying this month's bill. It's completely absurd.
In this situation, the word absurd means unacceptable.
I appreciate your patience, Mr. Roberts. It does appear there was an error in the meter reading which caused the bill to be higher. I apologize for the error. We'll adjust the bill to the correct amount, and you'll receive a revised statement within the next 3 business days.
Aha, I knew it must be a mistake on your end.
On your end means by you.
I couldn't believe my eyes when I looked at this month's bill.
The idiom, "I couldn't believe my eyes," means I was so surprised.
I completely understand your concern, sir. We'll make sure to resolve this billing issue promptly.
Resolve means to fix.
Well, thank you for confirming my suspicion. I just want this thing sorted out ASAP.
ASAP, or ASAP, means as soon as possible.
I understand, Mr. Roberts. We appreciate your understanding. Is there anything else I can help you with today?
No, I think I'm all set now. In fact, I'm kind of relieved.
I'm so glad we were able to resolve the billing problem for you.
Well, I certainly hope it won't happen again.
We recently upgraded our metering system, so we have experienced a few minor glitches.
The word glitches means problems.
Again, I do apologize for the billing error.
Well, thanks for letting me know about all that.
If you have any more concerns or questions, please feel free to call us back.
Okay, but I hope I don't have to. You know, I've been a customer of yours for many years, and I've never had anything like this.
Thank you for being a loyal customer. We do appreciate your business. Do you have any other further questions today?
Nah, just the billing thing. Glad we got that worked out.
I'm glad as well, sir. Thank you again for calling Gold Coast Electric. Have a wonderful day.
Thanks. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Remember to watch our other role play video.
Okay, so what about this situation?
He was so mad.
Yeah, he was like, he was irate. He was like really, really mad. But he was right. They had made on their machine, or whatever it's called, they made a mistake, right? And she apologized for the mistake, even though she personally didn't make the mistake. Because she represents the company, she's gonna apologize for that mistake, or whatever issue is happening. If we're on the phone with the customer, we're representing the company, okay? So if the company messes up, it's the same thing as if I'm messing up, and I'm going to say, I apologize, and do everything that we can to fix it. And do you think she fixed the problem well? She explained to him briefly what had happened, and she recognized the mistake that was made, and she explained also the solution, that in a few days, that they would send him, he would get another invoice, como una nueva factura or something, with the new amount, with the correct amount for the electric bill. And I feel like Did anybody else, how did the customer feel by the end of the conversation? He felt relieved. Did you hear and feel how he kind of was calming down towards the end? Sometimes it takes a minute or two, because again, they're emotions, right? And we have to process them, and sometimes this takes a few minutes or some seconds. But yeah, I feel like by the end of the conversation, he was a lot calmer than he was when he started the phone call. All right, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna do a role play activity where you guys are gonna do, let's do one more video. One last one. So this video was more like about customer service and how to handle people's emotions, which is part of life. It's gonna happen. So if any of you are studying anything related to business or people's money or, like accounting or something like this, money can be a very, very sensitive issue for us, right? If someone's handling our money, then we need to be extra careful with them and make them feel very safe. If you're handling their money or you're in charge of something, some kind of business negotiation, it requires us to be very sensitive, okay? Because these people are making investments. And we all work hard for our money. All right, this is going to be a little bit long. I might have to cut this short. Oh, it's a cartoon. So this is one we're going to schedule an appointment. All right, so listen closely. Specifically, when we're scheduling an appointment, there's a lot of repetition of information. Okay, again, I think last week or the week before we talked about that. We repeat information to confirm that we heard it and wrote it down correctly. Okay, it takes a few seconds of time, extra time, but it's better to take extra time on the phone call or in the encounter, making the appointment, than later to realize you made a mistake. Let's say you wrote down the wrong phone number, or you wrote down the wrong the name wrong, or you wrote down the wrong time for the appointment. I mean, that's the worst. That's the worst. And it's happened to me. So it's terrible.
Arranging an appointment. There are many ways to arrange an appointment. It depends on each specific situation. Let's watch the video to learn how to arrange an appointment in several situations. Situation 1. At the dentist. Hello, how can I help you? Afternoon. I would like to book an appointment with Dr. John, please. Dr. John Thomas? Yes, Dr. John Thomas from International Dental Hospital. Do you have any re-examination notes or anything? No, my son has a toothache, so maybe his tooth has to be removed, I think. I cannot tell you anything in advance. You should bring him here to check first. Dr. John's schedule is full today. I can arrange an appointment for you tomorrow. What time is better for you? His schedule is full today? Oh my God. My son is really in pain. That sounds bad. Do you want to arrange an appointment with another doctor? All our doctors have had the experience of more than 3 years. He can come at 5 p.m. after his school. Is anyone available at that time? We have 2 doctors who have free time, Dr. Alex and Dr. Polly. Any advice, please? Polly is better for children because she is more open-armed. Okay, so please, I would like to arrange an appointment at 5 p.m. Can I have your name, please? Grace. Grace Shelby. And your son's name? Robert. Okay, so Ms. Shelby, you have an appointment at 5 p.m. with Dr. Polly to check your son's, Robert, teeth. Please keep this note and come on time. Thank you so much.
Okay. So this person is called a receptionist, okay? At one point in time, we used the word secretary, but we don't really use it anymore because it's kind of like a gender placed kind of title, okay? Just like we have, well, we have some other examples, but in general, we call these people, and they don't have to be women, the people who work the front desk, okay, and that they receive the clients or the customers, are called receptionists, okay? So, what do you think? Can someone tell me one good thing that she did that demonstrates her skill at handling customers?
Maybe the fact that she was able to like come up with another option
Yeah.
because she wanted a specific doctor.
Right. So she came in wanting two things, right? She came in wanting the doctor. What was his name? Dr. Thomas. Yeah. She wanted him, and she wanted her son to get checked out because he had a toothache. So she wanted those two things. But during the conversation between the receptionist and the mother, she found out that maybe she couldn't get all of that. But the receptionist gave her alternative options, right? So which one is more important, to see Dr. Thomas or to get her son's teeth checked out? Obviously, she was more concerned in the end that her son get his toothache addressed, right? Because her son is in pain. So she suggested that she see Dr. Polly. And then she agreed. And I think that as a mother, when your child is in pain, knowing that she could get her son checked out the same day in the evening, she felt much better. So a person that's dealing with customers is going to resolve problems. We give alternative solutions, okay? And we give the customer as many options as we can, okay? Also, towards the end of this conversation, after she asked for all the necessary information, right? What's your name? What's this boy's name? What's the issue? She said, do you have any re-examination papers? That's like an historial, right? If they've ever been there before, or maybe they have some kind of medical history from the other dentists that they have seen before in the past. Typically in a medical office or a dentist office, they'll ask you for this type of record. Towards the end of the conversation, what she did is repeat everything back. Did you notice? Okay, so I have an appointment for Robert to get his teeth checked with Dr. Polly at 5 p.m., right? And that's the confirmation. So if there's any mistake or any error, the mother at that point could correct that mistake. Okay, let's see. All right, so why don't we get into pairs and groups of two? Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We have an odd one out. Why don't you get into a group with these ladies over here? Okay? You guys want to work together? You're going to work together. Okay, who's next? And then I have 4 of you here. Who wants to be? Okay, you guys want to work together? Okay, and then the 2 of you? And then you 2 ladies over here. Okay, so get together. I have a prompt for you. Don't take too much time. So we have about 15 minutes, maybe, 15 minutes. We have 2 prompts. You're going to write these prompts like you're writing a play or something, okay? So the first prompt is, I want you to schedule a meeting. schedule a meeting. Now, a meeting is a little bit different than an appointment, okay? A meeting is probably something that we would do at work. Okay, so I wanted to have the context of maybe a workplace. And then, okay. Handling a client complaint. Now, I want you to be creative. This could be happening at the bank. This could be happening pretty much anywhere. So, if you think about how often a company or a professional is dealing with a customer or a client, it happens all the time, every day. It's like what makes the world turn, okay? Customer, sometimes we're the customer, and sometimes we're the person that works for the company, and we have to deal with customers, okay? So I want you to do a short skit for each one of these. Don't forget to mention who, what, when, where, why, and don't forget to include your modal verbs, okay? Oh, and this one, how? How are we gonna fix this? What are some solutions? All right, are there any questions that I can help you with? So make a short skit. So you're gonna decide amongst each other who's gonna be the client and who is gonna be the person that's dealing with the client. And then maybe for the other one, you can switch roles. Okay? Any questions? All right, go ahead. Oh, you're not in a group? I'll split you up. So you can come over here. And you wanna do your split. You guys put up for you guys. We're gonna do two. You wanna work with me? Yes. Yeah. Well, you can decide if you're the client for when you're scheduling a meeting, then you'll be the client for handling the client. Like, you'll be the one making the contact. Okay, so just switch. So both of you get an opportunity to be the problem solver, and then the other one with the problem.
And we have to write it.
Do you have to write it down? It might help to take notes. You're gonna come up here and do one of your role plays. We'll call it a skit. So each one of you is gonna come up to the front and read your skit to each other. So maybe it might help. So in case you get nervous standing in front of people, you can write your notes so you don't forget what to say. you're gonna do both. Right, both. Okay. You're gonna present just one, but do both of them, okay? You're so cute. Okay, so who's the one scheduling the meeting? Who's leading it?
¿Qué tema sería la?
Okay, is it a phone call or is it in person? Okay, if you're gonna schedule the meeting, though, we want this to be a verbal interaction, so it's not gonna be an email. Okay. So let it be a phone call or. Are you doing the meeting? Okay. The human resource, you work in human resources and you are the supervisor? An employee? Very good, very good. Teacher, we want this to be a verbal interaction. But you do want to briefly mention the reason for the meeting. Not too much detail. Keep it brief, like general focus. No, but you're doing this. Which one are you doing first? And remember, it's not an email, it's a conversation. Tienes que hacer una interacción verbal. Yeah, good. Which one are you doing first? Are you scheduling a meeting? When would be convenient? When are you available? feedback, or it's called, they're called, let me find it, we call them remarks. Review, sorry, a review, they're called customer reviews. Okay, por parte del cliente. Customer review. Or you can just put review, like this. Okay, who's ready to present? Just one. Yes. Are you guys not ready? Okay. That's a problem. Are you ready?
Well, yeah, I plugged my iPad and I can,
How are we doing?
I'm already knowing it, but in a formal way. Like we can talk about an issue that he already knows it.
I'm aware.
I don't remember my.
I'm aware about it. Hold on. It would be, well, ya lo tengo
Entonces, ¿por qué no
Es que hay que conseguir esos datos de la persona que vamos a contactar dentro de esa empresa. ¿Cuál departamento? Every empresa pues tiene su departamento como financiera, tiene su departamento de recursos humanos, tienen su... So maybe what you have to do es investigar un poquito la empresa en internet, desde el celular, get the name of the receptionist
Está diciendo que ya lo hicimos.
Oh, en general, si no sabes bien. Who would make concerns?
Thank you, same to you.
¿A quién le corresponde? O sea, no tenemos ese dato. But my next question would be, ¿a qué correo vamos a enviar si no sabes?
Ahí sí estamos enfocando en diferente, pero es más como una cita, pero de...
What goes to you? ¿Cómo te parece?
Yeah, probably este correo va a ayudar a alguien en recepción. O alguien en administración que está recibiendo esto. Y cuando te responden, yo soy fulano de tal, en este departamento, y yo recibo estoy encargada de hacer citas. ¿Qué departamento quieres hacer la cita para ir? Right? So that's what we want to start. But we start with this hasta que ya podemos aplicar más información of the person in charge.
Yes.